I'm Daphne from Daps Makeup, and I wanted to come here just do a quick video just as a follow-up to a recent shorts that I did on a Chanel product. It's their cream bronzer, specifically talking about their newest, deepest shades. Because I definitely have some thoughts and I wanted you guys to be aware about this deep shade. Now, the shade that I'm going to be discussing is a shade that's not currently available in the US. I was lucky enough that I had a bestie that was on vacation in Europe, and she gladly, nicely got me the shade for me, because I've been patiently waiting for it to come to the US and it's still not available. Right now on here in the US, there's only 3 shades available. I'm looking at my phone just to give you the names of those 3 shades. And interesting, on their website, all 3 shades are quote sold out. I don't know if maybe they're in the process of revamping their shades, and who knows what's going on with Chanel and these cream bronzers. But they've always just had the shades 390 Soleil Tan Bronze, shade 392 Soleil Tan Medium Bronze, and then 395 Soleil Tan Deep Bronze. And so, in the past, I've gone into Chanel Boutique. I've swatched that, the current shade that's supposedly the deepest that's in the US, and when I did it, I always saw that it was my skin tone, so I never bought it. But I would hear such great things about the formula that I'm like, man, if they could only make a deeper shade. So then when I saw on social media earlier this year, that, hey, they've come out with a deeper shade, I was like, finally, because I literally have been waiting for the last couple of years for this. And so I just couldn't get my hands on it. So this new shade, it is, the shade is now called Soleil Tan Intense Deep Bronze. Now this deepest shade, now looking at it, the number's 396, which is just one shade deeper than 395. Looking at the current light, medium, deep shades that are here in the US, there's a difference of 2 to 3 numbers between those shades, where this one only has 1 shade number difference. And maybe that's going to come into play with what I'm about to discuss and my concerns. Okay, so looking at this is the packaging, and then there's a nice cover on the top. I have been using it, so it's not pristine. I'll try to show pictures because the beautiful CCs are gone. But I wanted to show you the shade. So, it's always hard to see things in line. You want to be able to see it in person. Being able to finally get it in my hand, and then I swatched it on my arm. I'll try to show you pictures. I soon realized, very close to my skin tone. But I was like, gonna forge ahead, because still I was looking at it, I was like, but it looks a little bit deeper than my skin tone, so let me try it on. Okay, at this point I've used this a couple different times. I'm gonna show you a couple quick demo videos. The first one, I'm going to show you me attempting to apply it as bronzer. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. It's too close to my skin tone. It does not work as a bronzer. Even when the video I'm about to show you, that was my second application, or second or third application, to be honest, at that point. But I want to, film it on camera to show you, yeah, this doesn't work for me as bronzer. And so clearly, since it's so close to my skin tone, and I didn't want to waste this, my friend paid plenty of money, good money on this, and obviously I can't return it, and I didn't want it to go to waste. So I was like, well, if it's this close to my skin tone, can I pull this off as foundation? I know that's not what it's meant to be, but hey, it's my skin tone, can I pull it off? So since then, I have used this a couple times as foundation. I'm going to also show you a quick demo video of me applying it as foundation, and I'll show you a picture as well so that you can see it on my face, one side with the bronzer / foundation applied to one side, and one side with nothing on my face, and you can see the comparison. Watch those videos, check out these pictures, and then I'm going to let you know how it's worked as foundation. Because obviously you're about to see, this doesn't work as bronzer. Currently I do have Chanel Foundation Le Beige BD121 and the Sublimage Concealer in 91. So my whole complexion is Chanel, and we're gonna open up cream bronzer. So as you can see, I've used this at least twice now, so I'm gonna do it again just for you guys. So that's on the shade, and I'm gonna get closer. So here we go. So it's just maybe a tinge darker than my skin tone, or at least the foundation. So it's just the slightest bit darker than the previous shade. But is it enough to use? Because once I blend it out, it's really hard to distinguish it as a bronzer. And trust me guys, I've actually tried it out as all over foundation. It worked. I'm gonna apply it on my temple. So there's the bronzer, no bronzer. Bronzer, no bronzer. It's really hard to distinguish either side. It might be the slightest bit darker, but not enough to be that distinguishable to be labeling it as a bronzer. If you're gonna come out with the cream bronzer, the two shades should be more dramatically different, and it's not. So bronzer side, no bronzer side. I'm gonna bring the lighting even more so you can see it. That's the cream bronzer. All right. Obviously, we know this is a fail as a bronzer, but like I said, this is basically my skin tone. I'm gonna try to see if I can pull this off as foundation. Don't know if it's gonna work. This is not meant for that reason, but I'm not trying to waste this, so let's try it. I have nothing to lose, so I'm gonna dip a foundation brush on here, and let's just see. It is, as you can see, just slightly deeper than my skin tone, but not that much deeper. And I don't mind that because once I put concealer, that's okay. As a foundation, I don't mind it if it's a hair deeper than my skin tone, but as bronzer, this is not okay. Like, this is not deep enough. You can see my hyperpigmented scars still peek through. So in terms of coverage, but I'm gonna, use concealer and such. But I think I can make this work as foundation. But this is it on this side of my face and nothing on this side. So you can see how close it is to my own skin tone. It's actually a decent match as foundation. Okay, so hopefully you found those demo videos helpful. So as you can see, this is not a bronzer for me. Now, if you are tan skin tone, like a tan to medium, then this probably will work beautifully for you as bronzer. And I have a good friend, another content creator. She's named Enamored Beauty, and she's a little bit lighter than me. So in Chanel foundation, I'm BD 121. I think she's BD 112, 111. And I believe, because she received this as well, I believe that it does shows up on her. So if you're like BD 112 or lighter, then you might be able to pull it off as bronzer. But I'm telling you, if you're my shade BD 121 or deeper, this will not work for you as bronzer. And this is really such a shame. I got so excited when I heard there's a deeper shade. And you would think that, when you go to make another shade, that there should be a distinctive difference, especially if you're only gonna have like 4 shades. It's one thing if you're gonna have like 10 shades or 20 shades, then you can be really deliberate and do like slight variations in terms of depth and undertone. But if you're only gonna come out with 3 or 4 shades, then those 3 or 4 shades need to really be distinctive and capture as many skin tones as possible. And so I will say, compared to the original deep shade, this one is fine, slightly deeper, but the difference is so minuscule. I'll show you also some swatches from my friend Enamored Beauty, because she had the old one and the new one, and maybe that'll be helpful. I never bought the old one, the one that's currently in the US. But I can tell you right now the difference is very slight, and I obviously would have dreamed and hoped that there would have been a much distinctive difference, so that like for my friend, she might not have been able to use the previous deeper shade, and she might be able to pull off this one, but I am still left out, and certainly anybody deeper is. Now, on a side note, now this is not meant to be foundation, and I would not tell you to buy this as foundation, but if you're curious, does this work as foundation? Because I had to find another use for it. It actually does, because like I said, it is my skin tone. One caveat I will say is, after using it a couple times, I am somebody with dry skin, so I tend to like to use a lot of hydrating serums, especially ones that have hyaluronic acid. And one that I've been currently using is one from Danessa Myricks, her Yummy Skin Serum. And that is hyaluronic and, kind of has a little bit of an oily kind of a texture, which is great for my dry skin. But when I use that as part of my skincare and try to use this bronzer as foundation, it's fine, but there is a little bit of pilling that happens, and I think it's just it doesn't interact well with the any oily serums, or I guess maybe ones that are maybe have a lot of hyaluronic acid maybe. I've used this again without that serum, and then I had no issues. So just giving you a heads up, if you ever dare try to use it as foundation, don't use serums that are too oily. But it actually works. I think it's kind of equivalent to like a stick foundation. I know it's in a tub, but like that's the kind of feel that I get from its use. So if you're somebody who loves stick foundations, and because I don't think Chanel has stick foundation, so hey, this would be you could use it that way. I love Chanel foundations, all their liquid foundations. So like if you need a good foundation, just buy their foundations that are meant to be foundations. But yeah, I just, if you're curious, I have been able to use this as foundation. And so I actually have it on now. So that is actually my foundation for the day. So just one, you could pull it off that way, but I wouldn't spend money on this as a foundation. This was supposed to be bronzer. Come on, Chanel. I'm praying that it's in the works and that we will have a true deep shade that medium deep and deep dark shades can use as bronzer. If that happens in the future, I will buy it and I will try it out for you. I do think this is a great formula. It blends like a dream. So I would love to have that experience that my fair skin friends have been able to enjoy. I would love to enjoy it myself because I love cream bronzers and contours, and so I'm really praying that they come out with a deeper shade Chanel. Come on. All right, so thank you for watching this video. If you were watching this hoping this was going to be my part 2 of the Chanel holiday review, because I just recently posted my part 1, don't worry, part 2 is coming probably at the end of this week. So be on the lookout. If you haven't watched part 1, get over there, watch part 1, because part 2 is coming soon. And believe it or not, I got it on my eyes. You know what, if you watch that video, and you'll know when you watch the next video. I'm gonna keep the teasers going, just to hopefully you'll watch those videos. And if you made this far and haven't subscribed, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram, please do, because that's where I post looks ahead of time. I give some little tidbits and reviews even ahead of my full-fledged YouTube videos. But otherwise, I just hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.